The hidden traps of smart money. Have you ever felt like wealth is a game you were never taught how to play? You're not wrong, because the game is rigged. While you're following advice passed down like gospel, buy property, save diligently, invest in insurance. The ultra-wealthy are playing by an entirely different rulebook. And here's the twist. Their winning strategies often look completely counterintuitive. Today, I'm blowing the whistle on 7 so-called smart assets, the ones everyone swears by that might just be sabotaging your path to real wealth. These aren't shady pyramid schemes or risky crypto bets. No, these are the very same assets your advisor promotes, your family believes in, and your neighbors brag about. But what if I told you that some of these assets are quietly draining your future while making others rich? Let's start with the most sacred cow of them all, real estate. Asset number 1, the real estate lie that's keeping you stuck. Buy a house, it's the smartest investment you'll ever make. Sound familiar? You've probably heard this your entire life from your dad, your coworker, even the guy on the radio. But here's the truth that almost no one is brave enough to say out loud. If your property isn't putting cash in your pocket every single month, it's not building wealth, it's bleeding it. Most people confuse ownership with investment. Just because you own a home doesn't mean it's helping your finances. In fact, for many, that beautiful suburban house is a golden cagione that quietly devours tens of thousands in hidden costs, taxes, maintenance, insurance, HOA fees, and endless repairs. Let's break this down with a little math. The average American homeowner spends over $9,000 a year in ownership costs before mortgage payments. Over a decade, that's $90,000 vanished. Now tell me if that house isn't appreciating fast enough or bringing in rental income. Where's the wealth? Here's a quick story. Mike, a marketing exec from Chicago, thought he was making a brilliant move by buying a rustic mountain cabin. 5 years later, he'd sunk over $50,000 into repairs and upkeep. It never rented well. It became a money pit with a view. Meanwhile, his coworker Sarah invested that same $50K into a small multi-unit rental through an online platform. After all expenses, she clears $600 a month in passive income. In 5 years, she pocketed over $36,000, and her property's value has steadily climbed. See the difference? Mike owns a dream. Sarah owns a true asset. Wealthy investors don't buy real estate for bragging rights or vacation Instagram shots. They buy based on one question. Does this property pay me, or do I pay for it? Want to get smart with real estate? Here's the blueprint. Ignore emotional attachment. Run the numbers cold. Calculate every cost. Mortgage, taxes, repairs, vacancy, property management. If the cash flow is still positive, then and only then consider the purchase. Use platforms like Roofstock or Fundrise to explore income-producing properties. Want that vacation home someday? Build a passive income machine first, then let that income pay for your luxury. That's what real investing looks like. Asset number 2, keeping your money in a traditional savings account. You were raised to believe saving money is the responsible thing to do. Your parents said it, your teachers repeated it, and for decades it felt like the ultimate sign of being financially smart. But what if I told you that safe little nest egg sitting in your savings account is quietly shrinking? Not physically, but in value. It's called stealth Lawsoned. It's costing you thousands every single year. Let's get real. Most traditional savings accounts pay less than 0.4% interest. Meanwhile, inflation is chewing through your money at 3% or more annually. That means every dollar sitting there is slowly dying. You think you're saving, but you're actually bleeding. Here's the math no one taught you in school. Save $10,000 at 0.4% for 5 years equals you make $200. But inflation at 3%? It eats over $1,500 in buying power. So while your bank thanks you for parking your money, they're flipping it into business loans, mortgages, and credit lines raking in 10%, 20% returns using your funds. They get rich. You get 0.4%. Still feel like you're winning? Let's meet Janet from Portland. She kept $50,000 in her savings account for 10 years, wanted to play it safe. But by the time she needed that money, inflation had eaten over $15,000 of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, her brother Tom moved his savings into a high-yield savings account, paying 4.5%. Same FDIC protection, same safety. Totally different result, actually made money while Janet silently lost it. So what's the fix? Move your cash. Today. Open a high-yield savings account with online banks like Ally, Marcus by Goldman Sachs, or Capital One. Many are paying over 4% right now. Consider I-bonds for longer-term savings. They're designed to rise with inflation and protect your money from being devalued. Opening an account takes less than 30 minutes online. But here's what's at stake. Doing nothing could cost you tens of thousands in the next few years. It's not just about being smart with money. It's about respecting the value of your time, your effort, and your sacrifices. Don't let your savings become a silent thief. Asset number 3, buying a brand new car as a reward. You've worked hard. You built a career, raised kids, maybe even sent one off to college. Now you walk past the dealership and that gleaming new car whispers, "You've earned this." And you have. You've earned comfort, peace, and the ability to say, "I made it." But here's the part no one mentions while handing you the keys. That new car smell? It costs you tens of thousands of dollars in lost wealth. Let's be blunt. A brand new car loses 15 to 20% of its value the moment you drive off the lot. Within 5 years, it's lost over 50%. That means your $50,000 dream SUV? In 5 years, it's worth $22,000 if you're lucky. And the worst part? That $28,000 didn't just vanish, it missed the chance to grow. If you had invested that same $28K in a conservative index fund earning 7% annually, it could become $55,000 in 10 years without you lifting a finger. Now, let's compare two smart people who took different paths. Jim, from Texas, wanted a new luxury SUV, but instead of buying fresh off the lot, he waited and found the same model, just 2 years old, low mileage, still under warranty for $35,000. Same ride, same comfort, but $15,000 still sitting in his investment account growing. 5 years later, both cars have about the same resale value, but only one person got richer in the process. This isn't about denying yourself. It's about choosing lasting rewards over instant gratification. So what's the better play? Buy a 2-3-year-old vehicle with low mileage. Avoid the steepest depreciation curve. Always get a pre-purchase inspection and a Carfax report. If you must lease for lifestyle reasons, do it with eyes wide open, understanding the true costs. Because true wealth isn't about driving a new car every few years, it's about knowing your money is working for you, not rusting in your driveway. Asset number 4. Starting a business without a plan. To step back. Quitting your job to start your own business sounds like the ultimate win. Be your own boss. Call the shots. Build your dream, not someone else's. It's what all the motivational books say, right? But here's the truth, they don't put on the glossy cover. If your business can't run without you, you didn't buy freedom, you bought yourself a new job. And probably a worse one. Here's what really happens to most first-time entrepreneurs. They escape the 9-to-5, only to step into a 24/7. They fire their boss and replace them with dozens of demanding clients. They dream of vacations, but can't even leave their inbox for a day. Sound familiar? According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 50% of small businesses fail within 5 years. But what the stats don't show, even successful ones often trap their owners in an endless cycle of stress, overwork, and burnout. Take Mariance, a corporate marketing manager, now the proud owner of a bustling bakery. On paper, she made it, but behind the scenes, she hasn't taken a real vacation in 3 years. She works 70-plus hours a week, handles every emergency herself, and dinner with her family is constantly interrupted by customer calls. Contrast that with David, who started a property management business. But instead of doing everything himself, he built systems. He hired smart people. Today, he can step away for 2 months a year. And his business keeps rolling profitably. So what did David build? Not just a business machine. If you're thinking of launching your own venture, stop and ask, can this business eventually run without me? If the answer is no, don't move forward until you fix that. Here's how to start the right way. Map out your business like a system. Operations. How will the day-to-day run without you? Sales, marketing. How will customers find and trust you? Finance, admin. How is money managed and tracked? Document one key process in each area that could be delegated or automated from day one. Use tools to take the weight off your shoulders. Calendly, scheduling. MailChimp, automated follow-ups. QuickBooks, invoices and payments. Notion or Trello, manage team tasks and SOPs. Study the masters. Read The E-Myth, Revisited by Michael Gerber, or Built to Sell by John Warrillow. Both will open your eyes to what a scalable, hands-off business actually looks like. Let me leave you with this. If you can't take a 2-week vacation without your business falling apart, you don't own a business. You own a job with more risk and fewer boundaries. True entrepreneurship means building something that grows even when you sleep. Because real freedom isn't owning a logo. It's owning your time. Asset number 5. Whole life insurance. Fancy handcuffs. Disguised as a plan. Imagine someone selling you a box labeled Security, Growth, and Legacy. Sounds amazing, right? Especially when it's backed by suits, signatures, and financial jargon you don't fully understand. But here's the deal. Whole life insurance is not the gift they say it is. It's a gold-plated Cajun. The keys are held by the insurance companies, not you. Let's break it down. Whole life, universal life, indexed life. It all sounds intelligent. After all, who wouldn't want insurance and investment in one neat little package? Your agent says it's guaranteed. They call it tax-advantaged. They highlight cash value. But here's what they don't highlight. You're paying 10 times more than you need to for a benefit that doesn't even pay out fully. Let's look at the real numbers. A 45-year-old male can get $500,000 in term life insurance for $400 a year. That same coverage through a whole life policy? $4,000 a year. Where does that extra $3,600 go? Commissions, administrative fees, surrender charges, and a whole lot of legal complexity. And here's the real kicker most people don't know. When you die, your family only gets the death benefit, not the cash value. Yep, that investment you built over decades, it stays with the insurance company. Gone. Let me introduce you to 2 brothers. Paul from Michigan bought a whole life policy and paid $650 a month for 20 years. That's $156,000 total. When he went to cash out early, his surrender value was $98,000. He lost nearly $60,000 for the privilege of security. Now meet his brother Mark, who paid $50 a month for term life and invested the other $600 a month into an S&P 500 index fund. Result? Mark's account grew to over $380,000 in the same time period. Same insurance coverage. Nearly 4x the wealth. No fine print. Let me ask you, do you know what fees you're paying inside your life insurance policy? Do you understand how the cash value grouser doesn't? If not, then you're not in control. Here's what most financially free people actually do. Buy term life insurance to cover their income while their kids are young or they have debt. Invest the savings hundreds per month into low-cost index funds or ETFs. Sleep better knowing they're building real, transparent, accessible wealth. No foggy contracts. No commissions to pad someone else's pockets. Just math, logic, and control. So, if someone's pitching you a life insurance plan that sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Ask yourself, are they selling me peace of mind or padding their bonus? Asset number 6, buying gold jewelry as an investment. Your aunt called it wise. Your grandmother swore by it. And during every economic panic, someone reminds you, buy gold at never loses value. But here's what they forget to mention. Gold jewelry isn't an investment. It's an accessory with a 200% markup. That $3,000 necklace? It might have $800 worth of actual gold in it. The rest? You paid for brand names, design, store markup, and overhead. Let that sink in. 75% of your money disappeared before you even walked out of the store. And the moment you do, that necklace loses 30 to 70% of its resale value instantly. You can't resell sentimental value. You can't melt down craftsmanship. And that luxury logo on the box means absolutely nothing to gold buyers. Let's talk about Susan from Dallas. Over 30 years, she bought what she called investment-grade jewelry, pieces that totaled $25,000. Beautiful, meaningful, worn proudly at family events. But when retirement came and she needed liquidity, the best offer she got for the whole collection? $7,600. Why? Because buyers didn't care about elegance or emotion. They were only interested in melt value and that fancy craftsmanship, worthless in the resale market. Still think you're buying wealth? Let me be clear. Gold itself can be a store of value, but only if you buy it strategically and transparently. Here's how to do it right. If you want physical gold, use trusted dealers like APMEX, JM Bullion, or the U.S. Mint. Buy coins or bars, not bracelets or earrings. Verify certifications through the National Futures Association or Better Business Bureau. Be wary of any site offering gold at below market prices. That's usually a scam wrapped in sparkle. Don't want to deal with storage and insurance? Go digital. Use gold ETFs like GLD or IAU through brokers like Fidelity, Schwab, or Vanguard. You get exposure to gold without the cost of vaults, theft risk, or bad resale margins. Let's be clear about one thing. If you're buying gold jewelry because it's beautiful, do it. If it reminds you of a loved one or marks a memory, cherish it. But if you're buying it thinking it's a path to retirement, that's not an investment. That's wishful thinking in 18-karat form. Know what you're buying. Know why you're buying it. Because sparkle doesn't equal security. Asset number 7. Lending money to family and friends. It starts with love. A call. A favor. A story that tugs at your heart. They just need a little help to get back on their feet. And you have the money. So you say yes because that's what good people do. But what starts as an act of generosity often turns into a slow-burning regret. You see, when there's no contract, no payment plan, no timeline, the loan doesn't just put your finances at risk, it puts your relationship on the line. The truth is, most personal loans become emotional landmines. According to Bankrate, 46% of people who lend to loved ones end up losing either the money, the relationship, or both. Ever felt this? You lend $5,000 to a cousin in need. Months pass. No repayments. You see them posting vacation selfies or buying a new television. And you wonder if they even remember that they owe you. But you can't say anything because bringing it up feels awkward. So you just carry it, and the longer it festers, the more damage it does. Let me tell you about Robert. He loaned $30,000 to his brother-in-law for a business idea. No paperwork, just a handshake. 5 years later, he'd seen only $2,000 returned. The business failed. The brother-in-law filed bankruptcy. The family stopped talking. And Robert? He lost $28,000, a chunk of his retirement he'll never get back. That's the cost of mixing money with silence. But here's the thing, you can still help your loved ones. You just have to do it the right way. Option 1. Give it, don't lend it. If you can afford to help and never see the money again, then make it a gift. Say clearly, I want to help. This isn't a loan, it's a gift. No need to pay me back. Our relationship is more important than a payment plan. This honesty prevents resentment and broken trust. Option 2. Formalize the loan. If repayment matters, protect both sides. Use tools like Zerto or Loan Builder to create proper contracts. Set clear repayment terms. Let the software send reminders so you don't have to play the bad guy. Say something like, "I care about you. That's why I want to handle this properly, so money doesn't come between us. Let's write up a clear plan." This sets boundary sand, preserves the relationship. Option 3. Become an investor, not a lender. For larger amounts, especially business ventures, consider this approach. I'd like to invest instead of loan. If it works, we both win. If it doesn't, there's no debt between us. Now you're aligned. Now it's fair. Now nobody ends up bitter over Thanksgiving dinner. Remember this. You cannot help others if you drain your own reserves. Protect your peace. Secure your future. Then you can give from a place of strength, not sacrifice. Because generosity without structure is a shortcut to regret. Final thoughts. We've covered 7 smart assets that are praised by tradition, financial advisors, and pop culture, but quietly sabotage your ability to build real wealth. If even one of them hit home for you, then this video might have just saved you years and possibly hundreds of thousands of financial pain. Let me know in the comments. Which of these smart money traps have you fallen into before? Your story could help someone else avoid the same mistake. And if this content opened your eyes, drop a R or a light bulb moment below. I read every comment and it fuels what I create next. Until then, stay smart, stay skeptical, and make your money work for you, not for the people selling you illusions.